All right, I think we are live. Let me get it over on my laptop. So Facebook completely wasn't working the way I normally do it. So sorry about that. That's why I'm a few minutes late. I went through the exact same thing I always do. There was a little button that said go live and you could not get it to press for anything. So now if I can get my laptop to work, I will verify that I am live. Oh, goodness. Luckily, there's a group on Facebook that has help. And so I'd seen other people commenting that they couldn't do that. All right, it looks like we're live now, I think. Yes. Okay. Let me share this. No, I think it's already going there. Okay, never mind. I think we're good. Whew. Hi, Betty. Nothing like having Facebook not work when you're trying to do live. All right, we are ready now. We're going to have some stamping fun. I am playing. So I posted that I was about ready to dive into Christmas crafting, and I am, but I didn't want to completely forget about fall because there's some beautiful fall sets, and this is one of my favorites. This is Autumn Leaves, and so there's a stamp set, and then there's a matching die set. And it has lots of fun dies. So it has ones that cut out the leaves. It has veins for the leaves. And then it has these just kind of standalone leaves. And I have some other cards I'll show you after I'm done making this that will show some of these other dies. And then the other die set I'm using on this card before we get into the masks is this deckled circles. These are huge. But that's what I used. It may be hard to see for this vellum circle behind. I needed something to separate the leaf from the background, so I used one of these new deckled circles. And these are only, you can only see them online. They're not in a catalog. So you can find them online. And then the star, well, the stamp set is a star too, but the other star of the show are these masks. So this is called Abundant Beauty Masks, and I believe they are back available now. They were out for a while. They were so popular, but I believe they are back now. And it's a nice set of masks. So it's got this houndstooth, I guess you would call it, that we're using tonight. Let me put my Stampin' Pierce mat down so you can kind of see them. And there is a snowflake one, which I can't wait to try. How fun will that be? And then just kind of different leaves and acorns, so that's kind of a fall one. And then this one, this is a set of masks. And you've probably seen these. There's been a lot, but it's to make sunflowers is what I think of them as, but you could do them other colors and they wouldn't have to be sunflowers. But what's nice is they give you this little notch. So you put this down on your paper, make sure you know where that notch is, make a little mark or something. So you do that one, and I've got a card to show you how, wait, let me get these. Then you do this one, which is the insides of those flowers. And then you do this one, which adds some more detail to the insides. And then if you want leaves, you've got leaves, but they all have that notch. So if you line that notch up on all of them, then you get sunflowers with leaves next to them. And I've got a card that we made at a class I went to of Kay's that I'll show you at the end that uses that one so you can see. But tonight we're going to do, I don't need this for the masking, we're going to use the houndstooth one. So that's this one. What I like to do, let me grab all my pieces here. And I'm doing this on Very Vanilla. Take just a little bit of adhesive on the back of your card. So just a little bit. And then this cardboard is just from the Paper Pumpkin kit. So lay your paper down. And then you want to make sure this looks like it's straight across for this one because it does have kind of a straight line. And now I'll start making colors. So I am using crushed curry have all my stuff over here. Pumpkin pie and Cajun craze. So beautiful fall colors. And I'm using our blending brushes. This one is a small one. I wouldn't need to use a small one for this, but it's what I already had as my yellow brush, so I just used it. All right, my adhesive out of the way for a moment. So when you get this inked up, you're going to want to start off and not directly on your paper, because you can see how it makes kind of a blotch. And you can make this as dark and as light as you want. Now this one is a pretty sturdy mask. That one of these other ones, let me show you real quick. This one has a lot of, you know, real small, thin things. So you would want to be careful when your mask, if you're doing this technique with this one, you want to dab it more than rub it around so you don't damage it. But this one's pretty, pretty strong. And it doesn't need to be even. I mean, that's part of the fun of it. All right, so I think that's enough crushed curry. Set that aside. Now let's get our pumpkin pie. And you can wash these blending brushes out. I tend to leave one that's orange, one that's red. You know, just kind of leave them that way, and then I don't have to wash them out. Because once you wash them, you have to wait a little bit before you can use them, so they'll dry. You have to let them dry real good before you use them again. And I'm going a little bit into the crushed curry just so it kind of blends in. It's not like a hard line between the two. All right. That's looking pretty good. All right. Let's get our Cajun craze. I don't know if this brush was Cajun craze, but it looked like it was close. I just love these colors. You could, of course, use any colors you wanted, and then it wouldn't have to be a fall card. I think with those snowflakes, you could use a bunch of different blues, and you could use different blues with this or different greens and make it a Christmas card. So the nice thing about this is because I put some adhesive on my piece of Very Vanilla, I can go back and forth like that and rub on it, and it's not moving. All right. And so then you can peel one up and see, oh, it's looking good. All right, then you just have to kind of peel it up from the back. We'll get this mess out of the way. Now, when I cleaned this, all I did was take a baby wipe and clean it off. You can do that. You can take it to the sink, whatever you want. So there is our beautiful background. Isn't that gorgeous? Okay, now I think I forgot to grab, let me grab a piece of, luckily it's right here, some Very Vanilla. We're going to do our leaf. We'll stamp him in pumpkin pie. Actually, we need to cut this down a little bit because I've got my small cut and emboss machine over here. So let's see. That'll work. I'll just cut it down a little bit. Okay. And I'm using my Stampin' Pierce mat because this is a photopolymer, so it doesn't have any cushion. I just stuck my thumb in the ink. So having that Stampin' Pierce mat underneath gives it some cushion. Oh, that's probably really noisy, isn't it? All right. Let's just stamp our leaf. And we're going to cut this out so it doesn't matter. Oh, wait, he's not stamped in pumpkin pie. He's stamped in crushed curry. Well, this one will be pumpkin pie. It's fine. All right. Oh, then we need to do our sentiment. Let's do that while I have the pumpkin pie out. So I have a little label. This was also cut with the dies that would go with this leaf set. So I've got the I'm Thankful. These stamps are all from the Autumn Leaves set. I'm going to stamp that towards the top in pumpkin pie. And then I've got, there's several different sayings that can go with that. I'm thankful for all you do today and every day to have you as a friend. So any of those will work. I decided to use today and every day. So I've got my Cajun Craze back out. And I'll just stamp it, hopefully straight, right underneath. There, not too bad. It's always hard when you're filming because you're not right over your paper like you normally are. Okay, that's all of our stamping. Now we need to move this stuff. Yeah, that gets stuck on everything. Not too stuck, but we're going to die cut. So I've got just my mini cut and emboss machine. So we need our leaf, our big leaf die. And our plates. So if you have one of these minis and you have any trouble getting your sandwich to work, what they have told us works is that you put this middle one, this lower, the bottom of the two clear ones, in, you know, off back a little bit. So let's put this, hopefully I made it small enough. Pretty close, let's see. Now, if you're worried about it moving, you can put, I've got washi tape or Post-it tape. You can use washi tape if you've got washi tape laying around. I've got Post-it tape. And so once you get that set right where you want it, you just put that over it. And that will hold it in place. And then this one you put even with the bottom one. So you have it kind of like that. If you can see, whoops. Where that middle one is just back a little bit. And that seems to help get it to run through easier. All right. I'll move this back out of the way. And now we have a beautiful pumpkin pie leaf. I'm going to put this die back before I lose it. Okay, now we're ready to put everything together. So I have a piece of Cajun Craze. So let's get this thing that wants to stick to everything stuck down to that before it sticks to something we don't want it to stick to. And I will put, I forgot to tell you all of this at the beginning, so if you're new here, I will put all of the measurements to this on my blog shortly after this. And I always draw for what I made last week. I will draw from the comments on Facebook and somebody will win that. And so last week we made this cute Halloween box. And so I will tell you who won that after this. All right. Before we put that on our card base, I have some of this natural trim. I forget what it's called. I don't have it right here. But it goes with the Earthen Textures suite. That's what it goes with. So I like to just, all right, I have my Scotch tape over here. I tell you, there it is. I like to just take a piece of Scotch tape and tape it to the back. You could use tear and tape. You could use your Stampin' Seal. I always turn it back over to make sure I still have it straight. All right, now this can go on our card base. Whoops. Make sure you've got it going the right way. Yep. And I like having this narrower mat and then a wider mat. I just like the way that looks. All right, now our leaf. I already cut out of Cajun Craze the veins for the leaf, and I put adhesive sheets on the back. So then you just peel off that backing. It looks like in several pieces. It was in a couple pieces, so I'll have to peel off all of these. But it's easy to do. But this makes it into a sticker. So then you don't have to, stick into my thumb. You don't have to try and put glue on this and have glue going everywhere. One little piece is being a booger. There we go. All right, now carefully peel it off my thumb and put it on our leaf. And I'm not going to press down too hard on the stem yet because I don't want to stick it to this. Now, it may be hard to see. You can see it a little bit. One of the dies in this set, this one right here, just makes little dots. So it just kind of like perforates it. So I just did that on this vellum just to add a little bit of extra dimension, texture, whatever. All right, so I'm going to put some glue on my leaf. And glue it to my vellum. And actually, I don't want that to be sticky at all. You can either just kind of do that with your finger. If you have an embossing buddy, you can put that on it and that will get the sticky off of it. Because I'm going to pop this up on dimensionals. And so you want to be sure you put your leaf on your vellum first so you know where you can put your dimensionals. So because of those perforated holes, some of that glue was coming through. That's why it was sticking to my finger. All right, so take off those backs. And I like to put it at an angle. And then you've got your sentiment. And for this one, I used, whoops, still got glue on my fingers. I used mini dimensionals so that it would, get some of this glue off my fingers, sit over that ribbon or that, ribbon or whatever you want to call it, that trim a little better. So I just put one in each corner. There we go. Right side up would be better. I just put it kind of down here. And that's it. I decided it didn't need any other, it had that nice trim, and with all the decorative background, it didn't need anything else. So those are the cards. Again, somebody will win this next week. Somebody that comments on this video. So let me show you some of the other cards made with this set. Those out of the way. So these are some that I made. This is using that same deckled circles. We did, it won't show up, I'm sure, on camera, but we did some Wink of Stella on this, so it's very shiny. With that gold glitter paper, it's a very shiny one. This one, when I first made it, I didn't have the gold glimmer paper that has adhesive on the back, so I used just some gold foil and put adhesive paper on the back. But we now have online gold glimmer paper that has adhesive already on it. So that makes it super easy. And if you can tell, I embossed the leaves with the textured tile, I think it's called. It's in the same, here, let's just look real quick. Let's get the catalog out and we'll look and see. Because it all comes in the same suite. So here's the whole thing. This paper is, I think both of these are not available at the moment, but they will be back. But yeah, this is the distressed tile. So that's the embossing folder that I used on these leaves. So that was fun. And I also used it, you'll see it on another one. Here's another card. This is some of those standalone leaves in that fun paper. And this one I also speckled with both marker and with Wink of Stella. Wink of Stella just doesn't show up on camera very well, but in person it's very sparkly. And then this is with some different colors. And I used the embossing folder after I stamped on that to give it some texture. So those are a few I made with the autumn leaves. Now let me show you in the class that I went to of Kay's, where we used the Abundant Beauty masks. So we made, this is that one that I said was kind of delicate, the background, so you had to kind of be careful when you were doing it. And we used Pretty Peacock and Moody Mauve and maybe Copper Clay, I can't remember. And then we did just a little bit on the sentiment. And then that's some of that beautiful paper. That's not available. We did one card just with the gorgeous paper. And then that's from the set. And then here's the sunflower card. But we did ours more of an orange instead of a yellow. But we just, you know, masked it off with the flowers. We just did it all over. I think it, I can't remember if it's Cajun Craze. It might be Cajun Craze. I think it is. And then we kind of went back over it just around the middle to give it a little bit of depth, so it was darker in the middle. And then we did crumb cake for the middle, and then we went back over it with, we either did crumb cake twice or we did early espresso, I don't remember. But anyway, to give it that detail in the middle. But it's so pretty. And like I said, you could use all sorts of colors for that. And then just to show you a few other, these were ones that we did at Kay's team meeting. They're using the Pick of the Patch. So some more fall cards for you. This one is just using the punch and some dies from the autumn leaves. And then this was just a fun fold. And this was from the Pick of the Patch. So this is paper, and then we stamped the crow and the branch and the Halloween. And then this we colored. So this is in the holiday catalog. There's the black and vanilla checked ribbon like that. And so we just colored it with a pumpkin pie blend. And then this is a new, so there's the ribbon like it comes. A new little container. So we used some of that fun paper from the Bag of Bones. And this is a, I forget the name of it, but this slides out. I might have gotten glue on mine. Seems like maybe I did somewhere, huh? Oh, I have a glue, or that's the problem. I have a dimensional over too far. There it comes. So that slides out. If you don't put a dimensional over where it sticks to it. So that was really cute. All right, so there's some more fun fall things and Halloween things for you to enjoy. So last week I made this cute little box, and the winner of this is Patience. So I'll check with her and see if she wants me to just wait until I see her, or if she wants me to make another one and not put it together so I can mail it to her. All right, that is it for this evening. Thank you so much for joining me. I will be back next Wednesday for another Facebook Live. I don't know if we'll dive into Christmas. We might have to, because there's so many fun Christmas things to play with. We'll run out of time if we don't dive in pretty soon. All right, thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next week. Bye.